moves to the right or to the left or still, and it can jump and go up and down. Now, I didn't actually implement the little dude moving because my idea is that they're going to move the background instead of the dude. But so my first step is going to be to get the actual background working. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new file called background. Okay, and that should be, should be empty here. Sometimes, oh yeah, it really is empty, good. All right, and the background is going to actually update the canvas background, and it's going to do that based on the player position. So I need to import canvas from my canvas file. I need to import the player from my player file, and then it's going to do that once per animation frame. So I need to import add animation. Oops. Try that again. From my animation file. Lovely. So those are the three components I'm going to need. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to set the canvas style background image to equal the URL, and here I need the file name. In my case, it's world.png. It's probably good habits to put quotes around that, just in case your file name has a space or special character in it. All right. Now nothing is happening. I'm not importing this yet, so I got to go over to my index file and import my background. And at this point, I should get, there's my background. Beautiful. And the basic way I'm going to move the background is using canvas.style, .background. Wow. Background position X. So let's say that I made that, oops, I'll put that in quotes, 50 pixels. You'll see when this refreshes, the background is 50 pixels further over. And if I made it negative, let's say like negative 250, now it's 250 that way. Negative 500, it's negative 500 that way. So basically, as the background position moves, the background will move. So what we're going to do is go ahead and add the animation. Now the way my animation works is just an object that has a draw method. So I'll go ahead and do that. And let position equal negative player X. Oh, look at that. I'm getting a red underline on player X. So I did not ever give the player an X position because I wasn't bothering to move it. So let me go ahead and add an X position to my player. So now, just like I have a Y that is updated based on its Y velocity, I'm going to have an X that's updated based on its X velocity. However, I'm not going to draw, like I'm always going to draw the player. Where's the drawing code? When I go to draw, I'm always drawing the player at the same, at like 250, actually it should be 256 to put in, well, 256 minus 16, so that's 240 will be dead center. So I'm always drawing the player in the center of the canvas. I'm not actually drawing him at his X coordinate. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the background So I'm going to get the position, and then I'm going to say, hey, canvas.style background position x equals, and this is a style property, so you have to add the pixels. So I notice I had to do the backticks. Now with this giant font, it wraps in an ugly way. But hey, resize there. There we go. The backticks and the position.px. So now the position gets updated. And I'm actually going to go ahead and just add a little debug information to the canvas as well while I'm here. So I'll go ahead and add fill text. Player.x is let's see if that works. I'm not sure if that will actually work, but I'm just going to try it out. 10.50. All right, so now I've got a draw. Interesting. Looks like that is not working. A little bit of troubleshooting. Oh. Background is not defined. Oh, there, I said background.style. I wanted to say canvas.style. That's funny. Easy mistake to make. All right, beautiful. Oh yeah, the style is not helpful, so let's go ahead and grab the background position X. Huh. Refresh again. There we go. So now I can see as the player moves, the canvas style updates, and now it appears as if my player is moving through the world, although in fact what's happening is my player is staying still and the background is moving behind it. So you'll see, like, as my canvas style goes up, the player is moving in negative space. This, make sure this works in the other direction. So as my player, here we go, is going to move into positive space, the background should nicely repeat. And there it goes. Excellent. There goes my player flying through space. All right, and you can see that my player can kind of go on forever, and this background is just going to repeat over and over again. Very nice. I think the down arrow is supposed to stop my player. No, I don't have a brakes. Okay, so there we have a working background. Moves nicely, my player moves. Awesome. And if I want to change the player motion, it's pretty straightforward. I can just change what these things are. I can also set a maximum with a simple like if statement. So I can say, hey, if this Vx is greater than 60 equals 60. So I just set a maximum speed so that you can't go crazy fast. Cool, and now I have the movement kind of working the way I want it to in my game. This is as fast as my little guy's allowed to move. And there's my jumping. And there I am walking. Very nice. All right, so If I wanted to add other objects to this screen, it gets a little bit complicated because I would have to calculate where they are relative to this background and relative to my player. So one way to think about that is that I need to calculate their distance from my player. So I'm going to go ahead and add a new kind of object. Usually in a game like this, you're either collecting things or you're avoiding things. So I'm going to make a, I'll call it a coin, and we'll just create a new coin object that we are trying to collect. So actually, coins are probably plural, so I'm going to call it a coin collection. And I'll put a coin at some different positions here. So these will be X, Y. Oh, you know what? I'm going to have to finish this part later. There's my coins. And I'm going to need a draw method and an update method. These actually don't need to update. Now, in order to draw, anything in my world is going to have to know where the player is. Import. So let me show you why. If I just made the coins draw at X, Y, I would do something like coins for each. CTX, oh, let me import CTX. CTX arc c.x, c.y, 20, 0, math.py times 2 CTX fill. So all right, there's a gold coin. And let me import coin. And go ahead and I'll import add animation. Awesome. And then I'll just add animation coin collection. All right, so at this point, what should happen is I should just get coins. Hey. Oops. That again. Cool, I got 2 coins, right? But the problem is those coins are like the moon, they're not moving. So I need the position to be calculated in terms of the player's position. So now I have to think through, okay, you know, the player, when the player is at 0, he's actually at 250. So I'm going to have to say, let drawn x equal player.x minus c.x. So if the drawn x is the same, it'll be the same. And now, let's grab it. Oh. Almost good. The coins are coming into view, but they're going away. So I think I did that math backwards. Let's try that again. Beauty of video games, if you do the math wrong, you can just think about it. And there we go. That's right. So c.x minus player.x. So now those objects stay still in space because they're moving around the player, and the player can try to collide with them. You'll notice that my player is drawn underneath the coin. That's because the coin was imported after the player. If I want the coin to be drawn first, I'll just get that added to the animation first, and now my player will go over the coin. Here we go. Come on down, little player. Oh. Oh, I guess I have to carefully control these. Well, I'll do that later. All right, good enough for government work. So now I can add two objects to this world. I calculate their position in terms of my player, hence the c.x minus player.x. And I just know where the coins are. And I know where my player is. And next up, of course, I can do collision calculations to see when my player hits the coin. Awesome.